Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are on 10.3, Read Bar Graphs. First, I want to show you how a bar graph looks like. This is a bar graph. A bar graph is a chart that shows information about two categories. In this bar graph, it shows you the art tools children use in a classroom and the number of children. You see bars on the graph instead of pictures. So it is different from the graph we learned on Monday and Tuesday. So let's go back to the previous page. This graph looks like the graph you learned yesterday. Yes, this is a picture graph. Let's read the direction. Write a question about the graph. Use counter to help solve the problem. So if you don't have counters, that's fine because we can count the circles on the picture graph. So the title is Type of Sneaker We Are Wearing. And first, in the first box, I see sneakers with laces. And the second box shows sneakers with no laces. And each circle stands for one child. So in this graph, I think I can ask a question about how many children are wearing sneakers with laces. I'm going to write the question down on the line. How many children are wearing sneakers with laces? Question mark. So to find the answer, I can read the graph again and look for the bar which shows sneakers with laces. I can find how many children are wearing these sneakers by counting the number of circles on the graph. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 children. So I'm going to write the answer here. 10 children is the answer. All right. So let's turn to the next page. Model and draw. In a bar graph, this is a bar graph. Each bar shows information. You can compare the lengths of the bars. What title describes this graph? So what clues can help us to write the title of this graph? Let me see. These are the art tools. This side on the bottom shows the number of children. So I think I can write our favorite art tools. Favorite art tools. Right? Are you ready? So the question is, how can I compare the length of these bars? First, we are going to look at the red bar. We are going to use a finger to point to the end of the red bar. Then we're going to look down to find the number. The number is 5. That shows us 5 children chose markers in the art class. All right, let's try again. We are going to look at paint brushes, and then we're going to point our finger at the end of the blue bar. Then we are going to look down to find the number 6. That shows us 6 children chose paint brushes in the art class. All right, so now, are you ready to answer the questions? Let's do it together. First, we're going to read the direction. use the bar graph to answer the question. Number 1. How many children chose paintbrushes? First, we are going to look at to find paintbrushes in the graph. We are going to point to the end of the blue bar. Last, we are going to look down to find the number. We find number 6 here. So we are going to write 6 because this is the answer. So 6 children chose paintbrushes in art. Number 2, how many children chose crayons? Go back to the graph, find crayons, and then we use our finger to go to the end of the bar and then look down to find the number. The answer is 2. That means 2 children chose crayons. So we're going to put 2 here. All right. Number 3. How many more children chose paintbrushes than crayons? So we will use our finger to point to paintbrushes and crayons. Then we compare the blue and yellow bar. We find that 1 child chose paintbrushes and 1 child chose crayons in art. Then we are going to move along the bar. We find that 2 children chose paintbrushes and also 2 children chose crayons. They match. Let's move along. We find that 3 children chose paintbrushes, but no one chose crayons. So for now, there is one more child chose paintbrushes than crayons. So I'm going to move along my finger on the blue bar. I find that 2 more children chose paintbrushes than crayons in art. Move along. I find that 3 more children chose paintbrushes than crayons. 4 more children chose paintbrushes than crayons. So there are total 4 more children chose paintbrushes than crayons. The answer is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could you write down the answer? 4. All right. Okay. Number 4. Which art tools did the fewest children choose? Circle. Fewest, that means the least amount of children. When I look at the graph, I find that only 2 children chose crayons. So the answer is crayons. I'm going to circle crayons. I'm going to circle crayons. Okay. Number 5. Which art tool did the most children choose? Circle. Most means the greatest amount of children. So then I will go back to the graph. Look at the end of the graph. I found 6 children chose paintbrushes. So the answer is paintbrushes because it has the greatest amount of children chose. So I'm going to circle paintbrushes. All right. Okay. So we are going to the next page. So you are going to finish this page on your own. This graph is a bit different from the one we just read. This is a vertical bar graph, and the one we just read was a horizontal bar graph. So in this vertical bar graph, you will find the number of children on the left side of the bar graph. And in this graph, you find the favorite vehicle at the bottom of the graph. It shows car, truck, and dump trucks. So if you want to find out how many children chose car, you will point to the top of the bar and then move to the left to find the number. All right, so you can finish question number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. For number 11, I'm going to read the direction for you. Order the vehicles from least to the most votes. Write 1 for the least votes and 3 for the most votes. And find that only 2 children chose car. So we are going to put 1 for cars, for the car, category car. We will put 1 here. So I will leave this for you. You are going to find the most. That means the greatest amount of children chose. All right. You will finish this page, and then when you are done, you can turn to the next page and answer the question on 590. You can do your homework, complete your homework on 591 and 592. If you have questions about this chapter, this lesson, you can ask a grown-up at home to help you, or you can message your teacher. Boys and girls, you can start your work now. Have fun. Bye.